This serial killer killed 7 men, lied about the reason, and confessed all before her death. This one is pretty shocking just because of the, interview tapes, which we'll be watching together. Whew! All I have to say.
The cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say that you killed 7 men.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
did.
asking you what got you to kill the 7 men.
And I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people.
So I have to complain and tell the world. I killed those 7 men.
Hi, I'm Meg. I talk about true crime. Let's get into this case. So today we're talking about Aileen Wuornos. Aileen was born on the 29th of February, 1956. And she had a pretty bad childhood. Like, the worst. Her father was an offender who targeted children, and he was already incarcerated at the time of Aileen's birth, but her mother ended up abandoning her and her brother, and so they ended up living with their grandparents. Aileen was 4 when her mother abandoned her. Her entire childhood was marked by abuse. Any type you could think of, Aileen probably went through. Physical, emotional, and then she got essayed by 3 different people, which resulted in a pregnancy when she was only 14. She gave birth to the child and it was put up for adoption. Aileen eventually dropped out of school and started working as a night worker on the streets to support herself. In 1986, she met and fell in love with a woman called Tyria Moore. But the struggle was always money. She never had enough money to pay rent. She wanted to support herself and Tyria. And so this is when she came up with the idea to steal money instead. But in order to steal money, there would probably be a witness. So she'd have to eliminate them as well. And this is when the killing started. In one whole year, 1989 to 1990, Aileen killed 7 men that we know of. Richard, age 51, David, age 43, Charles, 56, Peter, 65, Troy, 50, another Charles, 40, and Walter, age 62. On the 9th of January, 1991, a witness from a previous crime of Aileen's recognized her in a bar. She was with Tyria at the time, and they were both arrested. Aileen was only in her early 30s when she committed all these crimes, and they were all done with a gun. When she was eventually questioned by police, she claimed that all of the killings were done in self-defense and that she had been essayed or they attempted to essay her. Every single guy. Aileen would later retract those statements, but she stuck with them throughout her trial, which began in January of 1992. She pleaded self-defense, but the prosecution argued that these killings were premeditated. And with everything that she later confessed, the prosecution was spot on. The trial only lasted about a month, and on January 27th of the same year, she was sentenced to death. Aileen was interviewed a few times during her incarceration, and some of these interviews were so very bizarre. She was adamant that the police knew all about her and turned her into a serial killer, that they knew that she was killing people and they didn't do anything to stop her because they wanted her to be a serial killer. Something along those lines. Some of the interview clips are really a lot to watch. She gets very intense about things.
Then I know that the cops knew who I was after Richard Mallory died. I left prints everywhere and they covered it up. And let me kill the rest of those guys to turn me into a serial killer. I know they did, because I was no professional serial killer or anything, or murderer, or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't professional. I wasn't doing.
Aileen,
I did some sloppy work, and I left.
How have you? What more do you want to say about the cops?
A lot of stuff. Did you know that they were surveilling me before I killed? And then I knew it. And that it was covered up. Did you know there was helicopters dropping down from the sky, deputy sheriff, with decoys picking me up 4 or 5 months before my arrest? It was covered up.
But nonetheless,
Nobody ever asked me these questions.
Whether the cops were following you or not, Aileen.
Oh, whether the cops were following me or not, Aileen, what?
Let's say the cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say they were following you and they did everything that you're saying they did. Nonetheless, you killed 7 men.
Yes, you
did.
did.
I'm asking you what got you to kill the 7 men.
And I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people. So there must have been something in you that was getting you to
Oh,
do
you
that.
are lost, Nick.
So, as you can see, pretty intense. A lot of the stuff she said also didn't make the most sense. She was saying something like they were putting radio waves in her head or something like that. So she's like, I did some sloppy work. That gives me the chills. When Aileen's execution date was approaching, everything changed. she decided to come clean. She recanted her self-defense claims. She claimed that she was coerced by her attorneys to claim self-defense to portray herself as a victim to gain more sympathy and attention. So let's watch that together.
Okay, I cannot go in the execution chamber and die in the execution chamber as a liar. And I cannot go in the execution chamber and be executed under the devil. I have to come clean and cleanse my spirit in the name of Jesus Christ. So I have to come clean and tell the world the lies that went on through my mouth. I mean, now prosecutors and cops.
And that you killed the 7 men.
Huh?
That you killed those men in cold blood.
Yeah, and I got to come clean that I killed those 7 men in first-degree murder and robbery. As they said, they had it right. A serial killer. Not so much like thrill kill. I was into the robbing biz. I mean, you know, serial killers are in this thrill killing jazz. I was into the robbing.
So there it is. She admits that all of the killings were done for financial gain. She would rob them and just eliminate the witness. So that's... wow. In a way, I guess good for her for coming clean in the end, because even though I'm sure the family of the victims didn't believe her to begin with, at least they 100% know that the whole essay thing was a lie. Aileen was executed on the 9th of October 2002 by the lethal injection. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering what happened to Tyria, her girlfriend. So Tyria apparently didn't know about any of the crimes that Aileen was committing, that she was just as shocked as anybody else when she found out. She was originally arrested, like I said, with Aileen, but she was held as a material witness in the case. She gave information about, like, her whereabouts, where Tyria was on certain days, etc., etc. I just have to wonder, like, where did she think this money was coming from? But she wasn't charged with any of the crimes related to the murders, and she was released after Aileen was incarcerated. She was apparently just as shocked and horrified as everybody else. When she got out of police custody, she went into hiding, changed states, changed her name to avoid media attention and public scrutiny. I can't imagine, though, if she genuinely didn't know, like, the shock that must have come from that. Same with, like, didn't Ted Bundy's wife, she didn't know that he was a serial killer? That would be quite a revelation. That is everything on this case. I hope you guys found this one interesting. I would love to know your thoughts on it, thoughts and feelings, and let me know what case you want me to cover next. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.